Hello, everyone. It's been a while. It's certainly been a while. Why have I been gone for so long? Well, it's because my voice has died. And as you can hear my voice, it's still sort of gone. I had the flu. I also had some other virus. I have no idea what it is. But all I can say is that my voice is still sort of gone. And I really just wanted to do a video because it's just been so damn long and I haven't really done all too much after I got back from Florida from Christmas time. It's been like a whole ass month. Sorry. Uh my voice has been just so out of shape that there wasn't really much I could do. So, there's a little bit of the lowdown as to where I've been for the past month, almost 2 months of just being straight up sick. Um, I wanted to talk about just something that's passed my mind when it was my birthday back in Christmas, and I have to say it's gotta be nostalgia and just how the fuck I even got here, you know? So it comes to a point in your life where you get so old and you just really wonder, it's like, how the hell did I get here? You know what I mean? We all come at some point to a time and a place where it's like, we don't really know what to do now. Like, for me, I kind of felt that way after I graduated college, and I didn't even get a college graduation sort of thing because I didn't really much care for it. But now I no longer have like a set straight path on like what the fuck to do. So what is the plan? And God, it makes you really miss those old days where it's like someone chose for you on what to do, on what exactly you should aspire to be. And, obviously people have their own hopes and desires, their own dreams, but there was a lot more structure when you were younger because, people made a lot more of the harder choices than you. For example, your parents. My parents, I didn't have to worry about, all sorts of stuff like bills, money, like am I going to be able to buy a home in the future? You don't have to worry about those things as a kid. And even as a teenager, you don't really worry about those things. You worry about other stuff. It's like, who am I going to be? Oh, how does this girl like me? How's this person like me? How am I going to fit in? What's my personality? A lot more fundamental questions, a lot more simpler stuff in comparison to how the hell am I going to get enough money so I can buy a home to raise a family? That's kind of a complicated thing for a lot of people. Some people are blessed and privileged to be able to not have to make hard choices when it comes to that. But for me, it's really hard. You don't really know, well, shit, what the fuck am I going to do now? Because right now I'm like kind of stuck at a job that I really don't give a shit about, other than cruising on by and just, doing my job as I'm supposed to be. Like, I only get paid 18 bucks an hour. $18 an hour is not going to be enough to fucking buy anything decent in terms of housing arrangements, you know? And it just, man, just makes you think how lucky you were as a kid and like how much things were simpler and a lot more happier. Now, to be fair, I did not exactly have a happy childhood, the happiest of childhoods, but I was able to still be somewhat of a kid, somewhat, but you know, my home life wasn't exactly great. Uh, Still had to move quite a bit. And I'm still living with my parents now. And geez, it when you see your family as a kid, you think everything's perfect a lot of the time, or it's not so bad. But as you get older and you grow up with it, you really start to see how bad things can get and how bad things can be. And it really puts things in perspective that, man, children are innocent, and a lot of kids, when they grow up, it's kind of a death in a way, because you lose that innocence, that ability to like really know, okay, this kid doesn't really know anything better, and they're just ignorant of the harshness of the world. Every person's got to grow up and experience that harshness, but in some ways, you kind of miss that ignorance as a kid because you didn't know how bad things could get or how bad people could be. And you could just be a little bit more carefree with life in some ways. And hence why a lot of people tell you to just like cherish your childhood and whatnot. And yeah, I understand it now. After, turning 23, I know I'm so young yet so old. More young on the old side, but people keep calling me an old man. And I think I'm old, and it really makes me think, it's like, fuck, I've been alive that long? Christ. It kind of feels like a blinking of an eye, if you know what I mean. Because, like, all that time passed, and it's like, fuck, what did I do with all that time? And another thing that really comes into mind about just thinking about the past is like the time. How much time I fucking wasted doing this or that. And I could have been doing something way better, you know? It really makes you agonize over all that wasted time that, you know, in some ways it's like, oh, it doesn't really matter in the end, you didn't know any better. And other parts of me is like, well, I could have done better. I could have done better. I could have made better choices. I could have spent my time more on better things. But unfortunately, that's just how it is in the reality of the world. Not everything is a sunshine and roses, and not everything squares out the way you want it to be. Fuck, I can't even get a decent job. And it's like I got beaten down so hard from just having to deal with just interviews 24/7 when I was unemployed. And it's like, fuck, I miss being a kid because I didn't have to worry about this. I didn't have to deal with this bullshit. I fucking hate getting old. But, sometimes you just have to deal with it. Just have to deal with all the bullshit. And it makes you really value the time that you had when you were a kid or a teenager, fuck, even a college student. And I'm just a recent graduate. But, I just miss those days where you just didn't have to think so hard about making the right choice and not fucking your life up. And now it's like, well, do I make this choice or what do I do? How do I do it? And I hope to God that I don't become like an old homeless man on the street starving, fucking in destitution, just waiting for someone to finally kill me. It can get pretty bleak in the mindset. And I try not to be so bleak, but I'm a naturally bleak person. I'm kind of a pessimist. So it gets really hard not to just spiral and think, oh fuck, I'm screwed. Or damn, it's so over. But I know it takes time and a lot of patience, and patience is really the key, and making the right choices are also very important things too. So that's all I really have today when it comes to really this long-awaited video. Again, I'm sorry. I should have posted something before I went on vacation for Christmas, but I just didn't have the time, and I assumed I would have been able to, come back home, do this, and everything would be hunky dory. But apparently not. I lost my voice. I got super sick. I had nothing but coughing. So I really apologize that I haven't been very present online for the past month due to my sickness. But at the end of the day, I'm happy to be somewhat back. My voice will continually get better, I hope. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and goodbye.